First, we will work on the heart center. I was explaining in the morning about the 7 energy centers, 7 different thought currents. We will work on the heart center. In Sanskrit, we call it Anahata Chakra. The knot in this chakra is attention need. Attention need, if it is from one person, you call it as love. If it is from many people, you call it as name and fame. You name in different ways, but whole thing boils down to attention need. If it is from somebody, you call it as recognition. You use different words, recognition, love, name and fame. But finally everything boils down to attention need. First thing you need to understand about this attention need is, your emotions are not you. When you associate yourself with your emotion, that is the time you feel others' attention towards you is a strength. When you distance yourself from your emotion, nobody can exploit you emotionally. Nobody can disturb you. Nobody can hurt you. Your emotions are nothing but years of conditioning. I tell you one thing. One of the biggest success in my inner space, still I am not even attached to my organization. I work 24 hours for it. So meticulously I think through for everything without thinking. Means from the no mind state. So much of actions I perform, literally without any rest, day and night. This is my life. I work sincerely, intensely, but never attached. I tell you, all your emotions are years of conditioning. Nothing else but years of conditioning. Years of conditioning that has gone into you at multiple levels. Your parents, siblings, family members, teachers, friends. At multiple level. Your whole personality is a result of your parental and social conditioning. Attention need is one of the fundamental childhood conditionings. Parents use attention only as a fear or greed to control you. Fear tool or greed tool. They say that if you eat, you are a good boy. If you don't eat, you are a bad girl, bad boy. Attention is used as a controlling tool. Tool to control. Fear tool or greed tool. I tell you, first and foremost conditioning you go through in your life is attention need. That's why I start the attention need first. If you go back to your life, think. First conditioning, how did it start on me? You see, all of you are born gods. Please understand. Every human being, when you take birth, you land as a divine. Every child is a divine child. There is no such thing as separately divine child. Every child is divine. Without any conditioning, you are divine. How did the first conditioning start? How did you become human being? I tell you, even the conditionings related to sex comes much later. Male, female, gay, lesbian, transgender, whatever. Even those conditionings, the idea you are a male, you are a female, you are gay, it's all given much later to you. The first conditioning, foremost conditioning given to you, done on you, is attention need. attention need is used as a tool, fear tool or greed tool by the parents, either to make you do what they want or not to do what they don't want. So many examples I can give. They say, drink the milk very fast, you are a very good boy. Oh, you are a bad boy, you are not eating. We will work on this attention need conditioning now. Let's recognize your childhood attention need knots and conditionings. Hope you guys are enjoying this place. Yes, please understand. Now, write down 2 of your early childhood memories where you were appreciated and admired by your parents. In what form was attention given to you in those incidents? As a candy or a cell phone, or it wouldn't have been cell phone, maybe candy, like I got Ganesha. Some way they would have given. Write down two childhood memories where you experienced lack of approval. In what form was the attention withdrawn from you in those incidents? Whether mother would have stopped speaking to you, or they would have taken away the toys you had. Something would have happened. I still remember at the age of 6 or 7, I had one small deity of Vishnu. Some fight in the house, my uncle and grandmother, they took the deity and put it on the top of the bureau, cupboard. I could not get that. I am a small boy, so I could not get the deity back for my regular play and puja. So I was screaming. They said, no, if you want, we will not give you. Then I ran to Raghupati Yogi. I explained the situation and I said, it is there and they are not taking it out and giving it to me. He said, you are a yogi. Go and stand there and remember you are a yogi and you will get it. I thought maybe I'll grow and take the deity and get it back in my hand. So I went and stood near the bureau and said, I am a yogi. How can this deity not come back to me? How can such silly people can take away this deity from me? And with the strong remembrance, I was expecting some miracle to happen, that I will grow to the height of that bureau and take the deity back. I was waiting for something to happen. In 2 minutes, the deity fell on me. One rat ran and the deity fell on me. I got the deity back. I thought, this miracle is enough for me. No need for me to grow. In few minutes, if the deity has come to my hand, even by the help of the rat, that's more than enough. So what form the attention was withdrawn from you? Right to incident. And the third, do you see a similarity in the way you experience all other relationship of your life? Now, if you can very clearly see the similarity, how the attention giving and withdrawing was done on you. You are doing the same to others in every relationship. See how you are playing the same game. Look in. Pen down. Answer me the first question.
When I got good grades in school,
Mm.
and my mom took us out to dinner.
Now, first question, can you elaborately answer? Mic closer. How you are appreciated?
They may have sang a song, I think, or something like that.
Closer, mic.
Oh. They took me out to dinner when I got good grades, and I think they may have sang a song or something. Okay.
Can you a little slow so that I can understand?
Oh, sorry. When I was in elementary school, and I got good grades, my parents took me out to dinner.
Dinner. Then second?
And I gave my mom a really good Mother's Day present one year, and she gave me a hug.
So second, how did they withdraw the attention?
When I got bad grades,
How they withdrew? What did they do?
they just asked what was wrong with you, and they just didn't talk to me as much after that too. And another thing is, I was 8 years old. I think I went swimming in my grandmother's pool without permission. I got spanked. So that was that.
So how do you see similarity in the way you experience?
Well, there's two things. One thing I would say, there seems to be like a general idea about what is good behavior and what is bad behavior. And also, I feel closer to the people that I constantly have an exchange with, where I'm giving them a present or they're, giving something to me. And when I don't hear from someone after a week or so, I feel that like they're mad at me or something like that. Yeah, that's it.
The pattern, same pattern is repeating.
Yeah.
Good. That's all I wanted you to understand. We will break the pattern now next. Come on. Answer me all the three questions, one by one. Read out your answers. Get your notebook and read out your answers. Till then you continue.
Okay. For question number 1, when I got an award in soccer, my dad bought me a chocolate and a doll. This was when I was like 8. And when I got A's the whole semester, I got a phone and an iTunes card. But when I broke my sister's toy, my mom yelled at me and she stopped talking to me for 2 days. And my dad said I had no TV for a week. And
So,
then,
do you see the same pattern how you relate with others?
yes. Like, when I'm good, I get more attention and better.
No, do you do that same thing to others in your relationship?
No.
No, when somebody is bad to you, do you do the same thing, same way of withdrawing the attention? That is what I am saying.
Yes, I do.
See, that same pattern you are repeating. Do you understand? That's all I want you to realize. Okay. We will work on how to break this pattern. Come on. Answer me all the three questions.
When I play cricket, and I'm the wicket keeper, so when I do well, like I get appraisal from the other players and my dad, so I get more attention when I play well. And one time I had like a notebook, which my mom had me write in, and I complained I didn't like to do it, so my mom got mad at me, and she told me to just rip up the notebook, and yeah.
All right. Now, do you see the same way you repeat the same pattern?
When it comes to withdrawing attention, I do see a connection, and I see a connection on how other people treat me with their attention. Like some people stop talking to me, or they get into a conflict with me, or they say bad remarks about me. So I see that connection.
All right. Come on. Answer me all the three questions.
Sure. As a child, I was given responsibility because I was the oldest of all the siblings. I had to take care of my younger sisters and brothers, and also make sure that I helped them at their homework. And if not, once I used to do this, my mom rewarded with a lot of Cadbury chocolates those days and ice creams. And of course, whenever there was any conflict within the sister or brother, then always oldest will be blamed. You are responsible and you should be the role model. That pressure was always there. And the second thing, of course, going with friends.
Most difficult
school.
is not being old, being in the middle, I tell you.
I know.
I had one elder, one younger. And you are between the two, like a jam,
Sandwich.
sandwich. And not only that, one of the worst thing is, somehow my guru, or the yoga acharya, teacher, he convinced my whole family I am a great sadhu and Rajaguru and all that. Somehow he convinced all of them with horoscope and so many things. My whole childhood has gone. From the beginning, of course, I don't repent for it. I don't feel that I missed something. From the beginning, I am the judge. Whether any fight in the house, not just between the kids, even if it is between the elders, I have to sit and give the judgment. Sometimes the responsibility beyond your age is a joy. Sometimes it takes away the innocence of that age. Come on, I can
That's
understand what you are saying.
That's true. And the second thing, being coming from a traditional, conventional Brahmin family, I was not allowed to wear any modern clothes.
God, my grandmother and grandfather and all these elders, do you know, now after becoming enlightened, sharing enlightenment, the whole world, after breaking all my conditionings and whole world's conditioning, still I am not leaving my orthodoxy. Still morning I will not wear a cloth if by mistake my hand or my body touches the cloth before my bath. I'll take bath and come and sprinkle water on all the clothes or whatever I am going to use, and everything should be untouched by me. Tell me your whole story.
So,
There is a lot
so
to
that
listen.
was like, so I was always, that pressure was there. I'm not supposed to, because everybody will think it's something, it's doing against the, community or caste, whatever. So it was always like, something I had to, so, and they will always say, and in that case, you're not going to go with your friends, no more movies and things like that. And of course, I had to do, because we moved from here to North America after a while, like once I was married. So when my children came, again, the pressure was like, I was trying to do the same with my kids.
Come on, that is where the fun
And
starts.
I have two
And that is
daughters.
impossible.
Impossible.
In US?
Yes, and appreciate my daughters, both of them, whenever they help me in the chores. And
No other way,
appreciate
you have to
them.
appreciate.
And give them, of course, not like chocolates and candies or ice cream, but not like that. I had to buy all the brand names purses, the sunglasses, and clothing. Huge difference. It's not like small.
I know,
we
I know,
used
I know.
to satisfy. We were satisfied with those. So definitely, I make sure that I compensate them with all these.
And not
things
only it's
anyway.
your standard also, you see. I was satisfied with that small stone Ganesha. When I was young, my parents were not in that standard.
Correct.
So they just gave us a small stone piece, and I'm happy and I was enjoying.
And also, we have our own business, and even the business partners, I time to time reward them with good gifts.
So now,
And appreciate them.
I only wanted you to understand how the impact of that first pattern on you by your elders is affecting same way your next,
Yeah.
the relationships you create.
Yeah, especially with the kids, with the family, for sure.
So you see, many
And,
times, which you never wanted
conflict.
should be done to you, you are doing it to others.
Yes.
That only I wanted you to know.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah, basically the
Many
gifting
time-
part.
Many times which you never wanted, the things which you never wanted should be done to you, you are doing it to your next generation.
Yeah.
That's all I wanted you to know. Come on.
Thank
next. Yes. See, I wanted you to be aware of the pattern, then breaking the pattern is my job. I'll do the job in the process.